Have you ever been in a meeting and just felt completely lost? Like everyone's speaking a different language? Well, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and decode the confusing and, yeah, sometimes totally vague language of the business world.
Just picture it, right? You're in a high-stakes meeting. Big decisions are being made, but the air is just thick with phrases like paradigm shifts and disruptive innovation. This right here is the natural habitat of corporate jargon. So when you hear someone say they want to leverage synergies, or take a deep dive, or whip up an action plan, what's actually going on behind the buzzwords? What's the real message? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Okay, so first things first. It's really important to get that this language isn't just noise. It's actually a tool, and it gets used for some very specific reasons.
You know, on one hand, for the people who are already in the know, jargon can be like a secret handshake. It's a useful shorthand, it makes communication faster. But for everybody else, clients, new hires, anyone outside that circle, it does the exact opposite. It basically builds a wall, making it really hard to understand what's actually being said.
And here's the kicker, the real strategy behind it all. Using these complicated terms, it makes the speaker sound like an expert, like they have all this specialized knowledge. It's also, and this is a big one, incredibly useful for hiding uncertainty. When you don't really have a solid answer, a fancy buzzword can make it sound like you do. And for anyone who's not in on the secret, it can seriously feel like being dropped into a maze without a map. You know you're supposed to be headed somewhere important, but you have absolutely no idea which way to turn. But hey, don't worry, we've got your map. Or maybe it's more like a decoder ring. Let's start breaking down some of the most common pieces of jargon you're likely to run into.
All right, first up, the 80-20 rule. Now, officially, this is the Pareto principle, this idea that you get about 80% of your results from just 20% of your work. But let's be real. In practice, it's often used as a way to justify doing the absolute bare minimum just to look productive, while kind of avoiding the really complex, tough stuff.
Ah, the action plan. It sounds so decisive, doesn't it? The pitch is always that it's this clear, structured roadmap to success. But really? How often is it just a kind of vague to-do list? Something designed to keep a project moving and those hours billing without ever committing to specific, measurable results.
What about bandwidth? As in, I just don't have the bandwidth for that right now. It sounds so professional, right? Like a polite way of saying your plate is full. But the real translation? A lot of the time, it's less about being busy and a whole lot more about actively dodging a task that's either really hard, really boring, or just something you really, really don't want to do.
Yeah, this image really captures the feeling of a deep dive. You're just surrounded by information going deeper and deeper. But the real question is, are you actually getting anywhere? Or are you just getting lost in the weeds?
A deep dive is always sold as this super thorough, meticulous investigation. And hey, sometimes it is, but it can also be a fantastic way to put off making a really tough decision. See, if you just keep calling for more and more analysis, you can delay the moment you actually have to commit to something.
This picture is just the perfect metaphor for our next term. It's all about something that's right there, super easy to grab, and it promises a quick, satisfying win. And that is low-hanging fruit. Now, on one hand, going after these easy wins is a pretty smart way to build momentum and show that you're making progress. But there's a dark side. It can become a form of strategic avoidance, where the team only focuses on the easy stuff while the really hard, high-value work just gets pushed off forever.
So, look, using these terms isn't just some harmless little quirk. When this language is used to hide things instead of making them clear, it has real, actual costs.
Let's look at a quick case study to see what this looks like in the real world. A client asks for a full, comprehensive market analysis. The business advisory team comes back and says, let's not boil the ocean, and they narrow the scope way down. The outcome? They totally missed a rising competitor, and the client got completely blindsided 6 months down the line. That little piece of jargon was an excuse to do less work, and it led directly to a major failure.
And that's just one story. These hidden costs are everywhere. You get teams and clients who are on totally different pages. You waste time and money on work that completely misses the point. Trust gets broken when buzzwords are just hiding a lack of substance. And of course, really important decisions get delayed or made with bad information.
Okay, but here's the good news. You do not have to be a victim of vague language. You can actually take back control. So let's talk about a few strategies you can use starting today.
Honestly, it's simpler than you might think. First, just ask for a plain English explanation. Something like, hey, can you explain that in a different way? Second, ask for proof. Request specific, concrete examples or the data behind what they're saying. And third, don't be afraid to politely but firmly challenge any vague statements.
Here are some actual phrases you can keep in your back pocket. Paraphrase what they just said. Okay, so what I'm hearing is, that forces them to either confirm it or clear it up. Ask them to define the win. What does success look like here specifically? And this one's huge, demand metrics. How are we going to measure this?
I mean, this slide just says it all, right? It illustrates the difference so perfectly. On the left, you've got this sentence just stuffed with buzzwords that means, well, pretty much nothing. And on the right, you have a clear, direct, and measurable promise. Which one of those would you rather build your business on? It's a no-brainer.
Because ultimately, that's what this is really all about. Getting what these terms actually mean isn't just a fun little language game. It's about empowerment. It gives you the power to see right through the fluff and demand actual, real accountability.
So we'll leave you with this one thought. Language can be a tool to hide the truth, or it can be a tool to reveal it. As the person speaking, you can always choose clarity. And as the person listening, well, now you have the tools to demand it. The choice really is yours.